So here's the sunset from New Zealand. This is a little town called Patea, and I'm on the lookout. There's the sun there. The South Island's also over there. The South Island of New Zealand. It's just there. So that's south. That's southwest. South Island extends. South's there. The sun's going on this angle here, like that, right? The sun ain't south on a globe. It's not south. It's crazy what they're saying. The sun's going this way. In America, the sun sets that way. It's totally different. It's crazy to think that you're on a ball. It's loopy. Okay, when you actually look at what these things are doing, the sun's going down south. And just time lapse it with my camera. It's going south. It's going down on our perspective, and it's going south. It's going southwest, and it goes over to south. That's how it works here. It's not like this other thing where the Earth's spinning and the sun's at the Tropic of Capricorn and we're spinning around, and no, we're seeing it. That's the South Island over there of New Zealand. So that's how it works here. That's how it works. So the sun's just setting out, so it's gone down. You probably can't see it on the phone, but the sun's gone down. It's set 200 degrees southwest. So pretty much tomorrow it's going to rise in the southeast. It's going to come around. We're going to see it at our north at the meridian. That's where AM and PM come from. So AM is anti-meridian and PM is post-meridian. So once it gets past that north point, that meridian, it'll come around. So we see it north. We have to look north to see it. We'll come around, and now we're looking almost south at it. That's like, I mean, if we were any further south, we'd see it setting further south. I'll be really interested to see what the people of Invercargill, where they see it rise and set from, because they'd see it even more south. It almost would go right around them, but they need to be a bit further south. And if you're a bit further south, I would say that you'd see a 24-hour sun. Heaps of people think that I mean, I don't know anything about those guys that did the 24-hour sun challenge. I don't follow none of them. But if you go further south, you're going to see more sun. It's going to almost go right around you. That's just the way it is. I mean, how else can you explain that? So the 24-hour sun's possible. You have to study these things in the south to understand how this works. But that sun is going towards the south, and tomorrow it's going to come out southeast. So that's how it works, and this isn't, you try and model that on a ball, and you just can't model that on a ball. But you can try, and then you'll see that you can't. I only know because I've tried to do that, just to see. You just can't, it's impossible. On the stationary plane model though, it's absolutely possible. You can easily model this. Joe Hanvey does a good job, great job. Anyone can do it though, it's not like it's a special thing. Anyone can model this whole thing, it's just not hard. But you try and model it on a ball first, and see how good you go with that. This is just a little at-home demonstration I've done, and basically the sun is coming around, setting in the west, the southwest, it's coming southwest, yep, gone, south, coming up, and it's going to rise in our southeast. So this is looking up at the sky. That's why New Zealand's the other way, because it's like looking through New Zealand up to the sky. But basically the camera's in about the position of New Zealand. Now I'm going to move it to the south, and we'll see a bit more sunlight. I've just gone a little bit, so that it still goes out of range, like there, and then it comes back in again. This is how a concave surface works. The sky works exactly the same. And then I'm going to move the camera again shortly and bring it down towards the south again, or out. And then here we go, the sun's coming around, it's coming around, and it's still in view for a 24-hour sun. I'll go a little bit further out here, and you can see it's, let's just say, above the horizon. It's kind of tricky because on Earth we can only see across, and up looks strange, but I'm looking up here at an entire sort of sky type of thing. This is how it is for New Zealand. I'll go a bit more south. And now the light is starting to do that oval thing, just like what they observed in their Antarctica videos. 24-hour sun, there we go. Going oval, back to a circle, oval, circle. That's what it does. The pot lid's not perfect, but anyone can do this test. It costs you nothing, just a pot lid. If I go more north, I'll see the sun how they do, but it's kind of tricky to get that shot because the camera and the light get in the way of each other, but which you'll see shortly. But I've had to tilt the pot lid on an angle because of that reason. I won't be able to film it. It's only for the filming purposes that I've had to put it on an angle. But when you do it flat and you can see how the whole thing works. But when you move your position around, the sun moves around. Basically, the sun's apparent. So if you look at this is something I filmed over about 30 kilometers, which is about 19 miles. And that's driving down the road, just filming the sun. This is a time lapse, and it's just following us. So the sun's apparent, same as what you see on the pot lid, and the same as what you see in real life. It's the same thing. The sun's apparent. It's not a physical thing. So we've turned another direction here. Now the sun's on the other side of us, and it's still following us on that side. Simultaneously, if someone else was filming the sun at the exact same time, it'll be following them, and they could be going in the other direction. It'll be following them wherever they go. So it's really tricky to understand all of this if you're thinking the way that we've been taught with the sun as a ball of fire out there. None of that makes any sense to our real life observations, but these are real life observations and they can be modelled, whereas if you try and model the globe, you can't. The only thing you can do is model one thing at a time, but to model the entire thing, you cannot do that. You need this concave surface, and if you don't think we have a concave sky, go out and look up, and if there's clouds in the sky, it's even better. See the clouds where they are and look out into the distance at the horizon is great because the clouds aren't touching the water, and if you look from land, the cloud isn't touching the land. That's about 100k that you can see. The cloud's not touching that either. It's actually the same height above there as it is above you, but due to your perspective, it looks like it's going down. So if you were in South America, you'd see the same thing there. You'd see the sun over there because you're over there. And if you were in South Africa, you'd see the sun over there. And same with the Southern Cross. They see the Southern Cross in their sky. I'll see it in my sky. South America will see it in their sky. And the reason why is because it's south and it's apparent, so they see it because of their position. They see it over there. I'll see the same thing, and the Southern Cross just goes around in a circle. We see it do a half circle this time of year, and in the winter time it's doing the other half of that circle, exactly the same as the Big Dipper. So that's basically it. That's basically how this stuff works out in the south. For anyone who wants to understand it, it's really important to understand this, to understand how the 24-hour sun works.